Okay, Albion here. Just did that other video that is probably going up very, very shortly before this one. Anyway, so a few months ago, I did my what's the word? I did what I was hoping for jobs for in what would happen for the jobs in Endwalker for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And oh, and by the way, yes, I do know that there were a few moves on that list that I got wrong because or I screwed up. I think I said like a Rage of Halon for Paladin needs it got an upgrade. It's already been upgraded. So I'm sorry, but the idea still stands. I just got everything to 80. Everything's at 80. Ended it with King Unga Bunga. So I'm going to do part two. I don't know how well this video is going to go, but I'm going to do part two. And for this, I guess I'll do the same order of tanks, DPS, healers. But yeah, I can do it that way because Summoner and Scholars are, yeah, whatever. Now, this is just my thoughts and what I think I'd enjoy. If you think something else would be better or work out better, great. This is just me going, okay. So let's start with Warrior. King Unga Bunga itself. Okay, I have an interesting back history with Warrior. When I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, back when it was, I guess, late A Realm Reborn, early Heaven's Ward, I don't remember. I hated Warrior. Marauder and Warrior. I hated it. it was the reason it was like the last job I got to 50 was because, oh my god, my back itches. When your back itches in a spot you just can't reach. And I don't want to get up and just randomly walk to a corner and bear scratch. What was I saying? And that was because, I think mostly because of TP. Now, for those of you who may have joined the game from after Shadowbringers, let me explain. TP was their stamina system. It was mainly like how MP is for mages, TP was for melee. They got rid of it. I'm happily enough with, I think, Shadowbringers, but yeah, it was annoying. It's and the problem I had with Warrior was because it went through TP so quickly. Entirely because, unlike every other job, all the other tanks, the only way for Warrior to do its look at me move was using TP. It's it's overpower. Yeah, it only had overpower, by the way. There was no I don't think there was a mithril tornado or whatever the hell the follow-up combo was. They gave a lot of the tanks follow-up moves for their as an AoE combo, which was nice. But because of that, Warrior I did not like. Now, I think I started leveling up everything to at least 50 sometime during Stormblood. Or I actually got them all to 60 during Stormblood. I don't remember. It was either 50 or 60 during Stormblood, and then the rest I did a little bit towards the end of Stormblood to get everything to 60, and then everything to then now I just got everything to 80. The thing I noticed about Warrior at least as Stormblood, because I know it was Stormblood that I started doing the levelings for every job, was it got better as you progressed. And by that I mean it was a job that, and this is still true now, Warrior is a job that I noticed this when I was leveling Warrior from 60 to 80. And because of leveling things and the roulettes, I had to go back to older things, and I got to I was reminded why I did not like early Warrior a few times. Warrior is a job that, for some unknown reason, I guess it's just enough warriors complain or ask for something and they actually listen. Or something happens. But Warrior, for some unusual reason, as you level it, there are points when you're like, well, this is great, but I kind of wish this. I kind of wish this. Or I kind of wish I could do this. There's more purpose to this move. Or something along that line. I wish there's... I wish the AoE... I like Warrior, but the AoE thing doesn't give me... doesn't give me any meter. That's one. That you think that, and then as you level up Warrior, it gets fixed with a skill later down the line. So, I think like the first one is, I like this, but I wish there was a AoE technique that doesn't require TP. Oh, Mithril Tornado, the beast gauge move at level 45. I like, what was it? I like Inner Beast, but I wish it did more damage so it wasn't like slightly, so it actually was more important, so it was actually more impressive than the end of the end of the basic combos. In comes Velcleave. I like this, but I wish Warrior had more sustain besides just as basic, the end of its the one ending of its basic combo. Equilibrium, Nascent Flash. I like the Beast Gauge, but and Infuriate, but I wish I didn't just have to use it for the burst window when, well, this was my rotation, to be fair. I wish I could use it more often to just wait for the burst window for when Berserk was ready. Infuriate, Infuriate, the passive that makes Infuriate, makes Velcleave and Decimate reduce the cooldown time on Infuriate by 5 seconds. I like this burst window, but it requires all my Infuriate just to do 4 hits of crits of Velcleave. Inner Release. Are you getting the idea? I like Inner Release, but it makes Infuriate almost pointless now because you don't have the window. Nascent Chaos. What do I hope happens for Warrior and Endwalker? I don't know. How do you make King Unga Bunga more Unga Bunga? Um, hmm. I, I don't know. It's one warrior is the one job. I just finished it too. It was the last one I had to get to level 80. It was not on purpose, but it turned out that way. Um, warrior is the one job I just cannot understand. Well, not understand. That's not the right word for it. I cannot. It requires me to start going through it before I go. I like this, but and I haven't gotten to that point. Well, no, I haven't gotten to that point yet because of I discovered Bojan lets you level and other things. Anyway, um, so King Unga Bunga. I don't know. How do you make King Unga Bunga more Unga Bunga? Um, what's that uppercut skill he has? I don't know. It. All I can come up with is like the laziest shit of just upgrading maybe the ends of his combos. I don't really know. There's King Unga Bunga. Just, I guarantee you by the time Endwalker comes out, and if I played more Warrior, I'll come up with a I like this, but situation. And by that point, who knows? Maybe that's something they added in Endwalker. Because, it's Warrior. Um, so, Warrior, just keep doing what you're doing. um, Dark Knight. On to Dark Knight. Oh, sweet, precious Dark Knight. I don't know. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, because, like I said, I hated Warrior. If you're wondering what my list of favorite tanks is right at the moment, is Warrior my favorite? No. Still no. I like it, but still no. I think it's more aesthetic on now for Warrior, but it's still a no. Paladin is still my favorite. Dark Knight was my second, but it's dropped to. It's tied with Warrior now. Gunbreaker has become my second. Um, but oh, sweet Dark Knight, what have you done? Well, uh, so Dark Knight's interesting. What would I like them to change? Actually, one thing that would be better for Dark Knight, and also kind of with Gunbreaker, I don't remember if I brought this up with the other video with Gunbreaker, is maybe a secondary combo ender. Something besides just the basic 1, 2, 3 combo. Maybe an alternate third thing that does something else. Um, because I don't know. Dark Knight. Oh, the other thing is, I think Dark Knight. This is the one thing I think Dark Knight does kind of need a little bit more sustain. Like, it's 1, 2, 3 gives a decent, but it's in kind of a similar situation with Warrior. Uh, Actually, less so with Warrior because Warrior got skills that I like this, but yeah. Dark Knight I think could use a bit more sustain. Something besides just Abyssal Drain and its third hit on its basic combo. I understand it has a ton of sustain for its MP because it drains MP like a motherfucker. But its is MP is the thing that I think Dark Knight should probably No, not MP. HP sustain is something I think Dark Knight could probably use some more of. Um, that and maybe a few more defensive passive. Maybe one more defensive passive. Something another cooldown that helps it. I don't think it should be somewhere between war. I don't think it should be like Paladin. Oh, I have like 15. I have like six different ways to reduce the damage I'm taking. More closer to somewhere between Paladin and. Well, I guess that's Gunbreaker. No. Yeah. Maybe not as much as. Well, maybe it's actually fine now. Huh. I don't know. It's maybe a little bit more sustain. That's the one thing I think Dark Knight could do with a little bit more sustain. And who knows? Maybe something with the blood gauge again, but not another shadow. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Dark Knight is interesting because other than the third that 3-hit combo and sustain, I can't really think of too much at the moment on what I would like Dark Knight to get. And I don't. But anyway, moving on. I'd probably get stuck on trying to figure that out for a while. But moving on. Monk. Monk. So here's the thing with Monk. I like Monk. I think Monk's fun. The thing I'm looking forward to the most with Monk for Endwalker is what's the next fighting game move they give Monk? So, for those of you who don't know or don't play Monk or whatever, Monk in level 60 in the 50s, like Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Endwalker. I mean Shadowbringers. Well, no. There was two in Shadowbringers. So Heaven's Ward. No, I don't think they. I think that was a move they made for it in Stormblood. So Stormblood, and Shadowbringers. They added moves that replaced moves in for older parts of for the lower level areas of Monk. And those moves are in order of when you get them. I think it's like 45. You get the first fighting move. It's a second part to an AoE combo. It's Spinning Bird Kick. It's basically Chun-Li's Spinning Bird Kick. Let's not lie here. Somewhere in the 60s, I think it's like 64, 66, somewhere around there. No, not 60s, 50s. Somewhere in the 50s, so like 54, 56. It's around the place when you get the Aerie in Heaven's Ward. You get the... you basically get a Kamehameha wave that you just shoot straight down as an AoE. And then in Shadowbringers, the Hadouken. I mean, there is no way you can play Monk, do that move, and not yell out Hadouken. Hadouken. I do it every time. So, yeah. What's the next one? Is Monk just straight up getting a Shoryuken? Is that upgrading the lost chakra? A Shoryuken? Yeah, I can't think of too much. Just all I can think of from I do like the fact that they removed Grease Lightning as a buildable stack and instead just made you constant super speed punch. That's actually pretty nice. That was one of the more recent patch changes. Not the most recent, but one of the more recent. So that's actually pretty good. That does cause some issues though. And the main problem I have with that is I think that would require this now has come to a point where they have to, because I'm pretty sure the stacks, especially the 4 stacks for Fists of Wind, was entirely made to make monk make you use the other fists. The problem with that is that still did not help with Fist of Earth, and B, when they got rid of the stack part, that just got rid of the purpose of Fist of Wind besides the extra movement speed. So they'll have to do something with the fist fighting style, the different fists. Either get rid of 2 of them or make the third one a passive or something. I just don't know. I really don't know what you can do with the fists. They're still that's just something that I don't know what they can do with it. But monks, I enjoy a monk. It's just one of those things where you're just like, okay, well, this is great. What's the next weird thing they're adding to it? Yeah. So moving on, let's get to samurai. So samurai, samurai. So I okay. So in terms of the games, I went through A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, and Stormblood, and then Shadowbringers as 3 different jobs. So A Realm Reborn, I actually did. I started off as a archer, then turned into a thaumaturge until I got Black Mage, and then I decided to unlock all the jobs. So I got at least everything, at least the 30 in A Realm Reborn. And then I went, you know what? I like Dragoon better. So I stuck with Dragoon and finished A Realm Reborn with Dragoon. After Dragoon, I didn't really do the post-game stuff, so I never actually entered Heaven's Ward when Heaven's Ward was just a thing. It had just started. I didn't actually get through the Heaven's Ward stuff until Stormblood came out. And for Stormblood and Heaven's Ward, I was a samurai. And then for this Shadowbringers, I was a red mage. So samurai. I like what they're doing with samurai with the thing you get at the end of at level 80 for samurai is a move that it's samurai's thing ended up becoming cut faster, cut harder, and get this one gets EI Jutsu up and just kill it with like a hit or 2, like huge damage move. And then copy, and then you got a move that copied the first move, and it just kind of turns into this weird. If you do a certain set of things, it just becomes this interesting combo. One of the things they added at the end was a move that required you to have 3 stacks of what they call meditation, and early in. Like somewhere around Heaven's Ward, so the 60s to 70s, so like 60 to 70, somewhere around there. you got a move called Meditation, which was used to build up Kinky Gauge. And they gave that move a secondary thing where it builds stacks of meditation, but you also get it from doing like EI Jutsu and that one move that copies the EI Jutsu. So because of that, those two moves plus the thing you got for the meditation plus the move you get for very early on, I think it's like 72 that costs like 50 Kinky. You can basically like string those moves together if you set it up right and just do this huge burst shot. Now, that's only for one person hits. Their best guess they might add one that does the same that does an AoE thing for the meditation. I don't know. But honestly, Samurai, I like how they're going with it, so I'm not really too disappointed or too I don't there isn't really much I can say that I would like that no would be a decent idea. It's just one of those things where I'm like, you can there's some of the jobs you can kind of see, okay, this is where they're going to go with this, or you can kind of get a vague idea. While I was going through leveling everything, I was also doing some stuff from post game shit that I hadn't done before for Heaven's Ward and Stormblood, and for once I actually decided to start doing post game stuff before the new expansion. So yeah. So I have noticed that there are in some of the post game stuff, it does feel like they kind of tease you on what's going to be the next thing. Like you kind of get this idea that Suzaku was kind of a tease for Phoenix, and some other things. The end for Dark Knight's level Stormblood. Dark Knight Stormblood job quest, the last one in that job quest, it kind of feels like that was a hint towards the shadow move that I got at the end for Shadowbringers. So I don't know. It's a thing where you're just kind of going, okay, well, this should be interesting. Like I said, I really don't know what they could do as a change to Samurai, except that was the one thing I could think of where they end up making kind of an AoE thing, but that's kind of a safe bet. It's safer than some others. I really don't know what else. After that, but moving on. I don't know if I'm going too quick on these but whatever. Summoner, and I'm also going to add Scholar to this, so I'm doing them both at the same time since they level at the same time. Summoner and Scholar. Summoner. I think I kind of touched on this last time because I just kind of started going through. Summoner needs something to help it get back into the fight after it dies. Something for MP regeneration. Because if it dies, its rotation is screwed the hell up. It's from the start all over again. And it has no MP to do anything with. Unless you use like Lucid Dreams to get more MP back. So, Summoner, I really, really believe, needs something to regain MP faster. Now then, that being said, what's the next summon? I mean, you gave us Phoenix. What's next? Alexander? I don't know. It's Huh. Bismarck? Huh, it's an idea. But it's one of those things where you're like, what can you do to blow us away next now? You've already given us Bahamut and Phoenix. What's next? Upgrade Bahamut to Neo Bahamut? For those Final Fantasy VII people who know that exists. Space Bahamut, yeah. Oh, it might have something. That actually might not be a bad prediction, just because of the shit that's going on in 5.4 at the end of 5.4 and 5.5. Oh, that might actually be a decent prediction. Oh, that would also be a good one too, because it's going to the moon. What's his name? Uh, Zeromus? Yeah, Zeromus. Uh, so Summoner needs something to help with MP regen. Um, Scholar. I'm going to be honest. Scholar's not my favorite healer at all. White Mage is my favorite. Astrologian's okay. But Scholar, I just do not. I just don't really enjoy it too much. I did use a bit of it for. So I at least know what I'm talking about on some things. Although Scholar did have a situation similar to Warrior where it was like, I like this, but I wish. So Scholar's thing, my issue with Scholar before was I like the idea of having the fairy, the help with the healing, but I wish it had more more an ability to heal more in chunks besides without just the shields. And emergency procedures, I think it's the name of the skill. The one that makes it so that instead of giving a shield, it just turns the shield into more heals. That made me a little bit happy. And then what's that other skill? I forgot its name, but it's the one Aether Flow skill that if when you use it when the person you use it on reaches less than 50% health, it heals them for a certain percentage. I like that one too. So Scholar is getting better, in my opinion. It is getting more healing based skills. The fact that they made the fairy turn into a seraph is nice. I think for Scholar, I think they could do more with the fairy gauge. The fairy gauge, I think, is still a little underutilized. Um, there is, I know gaining 10 fairy gauge for for using an Aether Flow skill makes it a little slow to build, and they could kind of work on that, but there's only like two skills that use Aether Flow. I mean not the Aether Flow that use the fairy gauge, and I noticed this while using Scholar for Delubrum because I'm working on the resistance weapons. Um, Scholar does not have the fairy gauge only really has like two things it can do, and if you're using Scholar for something else, if you're either by yourself or you're you have your or you're in a situation where you're able to do a lot of DPS, the fairy gauge does not. I don't know. There just needs to be more usage of the fairy gauge. It just feels like it's this thing here that needs more use. You need to that it should get more usage out of. The other thing, now that I was thinking about that, The other thing for Scholar that I think they need to do with is do something with Ruin 2. Ruin 2 on Scholar is almost not something going on. Ruin 2 with Scholar is not. It seems like it's just there because of Scholar coming out of Arcanist. And while yes, Sumner uses it because of the Ruin 4, Scholar doesn't have any point for it. So I'm pretty certain because it comes from the Arcanist side of things, they can't get rid of it just for Scholar. But they can upgrade it. And I think they should upgrade it because there needs to be some point to having this random skill that's there. Besides just, oh, it's a remnant from when this was DPS. I think Ruin 2 needs to have something for Scholar. Now then, Summoner needs mana restoration and whatever the hell the next summon's going to be. Scholar needs more Fey Gauge usage, and something needs to be done with Ruin 2. Ruin 2 needs to be upgraded, changed, something for Ruin 2. Now then, that just leaves Astrologian. The healer job that they changed an entirely lot of in Shadowbringers. The healer job that's probably getting a lot more changes in Endwalker. Astrologian's a special case. Astrologian's a special case because of what their plans are for healers in Endwalker. That is, they want 2 pure healers, or 2 regen healers, and 2 shield healers. Now, Astrologian was always, ever since it came out, was this kind of in-between between Scholar and White Mage and Scholar. It could, at early points, it was regen, and then after, I think it's like 50, you get Nocturnal, which makes it shields. So, what do you do with that? With them probably making Astro a pure healer, regen healer, what do you do with Nocturnal? The Nocturnal side of things. Do you just randomly make it a passive that some skills might do something? What do you do? Not only that, but you have to figure out what do you do with it that does not change the fact that you have to use Nocturnal aspect during the Stormblood parts of the job quests. I don't know. I've been trying to figure this out, and I don't know what you can do with Astro there are several things that can be done, but it's just one of those things that I'm not, what I hope can happen and what might happen might be too, I don't know. I really don't know. Now that being said, what do I think would be good to see Astro get? That's an interesting thought. There's some skills that if they get rid of Nocturnal Sect, then that just basically means there's going to be two extra slots that will probably get replaced by something in level 30 and level 50. So Astro might end up getting two new skills in an earlier stage, in the early parts of leveling. I don't know. In fact, I think, ooh, that's an idea. That's something. If you make Nocturnal a passive, where Nocturnal becomes, you gain Nocturnal. No, if instead of making Nocturnal a passive, make it a shield giving. No, because then you still have Celestial Intersection. Huh. Or opposition. No, is it opposition or intersection? The one where it does the opposite. But then you get that way late, so what could you do? Hmm. Oh, in case you're wondering about the cards, I have no problems with them. I guess they simplified them, and it's a little iffy right now, but still, I don't really think there's too much you can do. The one thing that I had with the cards it was the level 70 skill, so that kind of fixed the issue. Um, my biggest thing with Astrologian is trying to think what could they do to make this in between become a region healer, and there are things they can, and I don't know how. That being said, wow. Give me your thoughts. Astro's just one of those things that I think just give me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you feel. I'm probably going to get a few hateful comments about my thoughts on early Warrior. Because I know everyone loves Warrior. But, yeah. Anyway, so right now Anyway, so yeah. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments. If you like this video, let us know. If you like what we're putting out, subscribe, please. It helps. Lets us know what we're doing is good or okay. We still don't have much, but we have what we can. But anyway, thanks if you watched this far. Albion signing out.